Asanuma Kenichi. I'm currently enrolled at the Graduate School of Economics at Waseda University, and I was born and raised in Luxembourg, which is a tiny country in Europe, in between France and Germany. And I moved to Switzerland to pursue an undergraduate degree at the University of Zurich after graduating high school. And I'm fluent in 5 languages, which are Luxembourgish, German, French, English, and Japanese. So when I first came to Japan as an exchange student, it was mainly because I was really interested in Japan as a country, and it was kind of a part of me, but I only visited it for like a short amount of time. So I really wanted to live in Japan for an extended period. And coming back to Japan for graduate school was partly because I really liked the teaching style of having smaller classes. So it was really different from what I had experienced in Zurich. But also I've met people that have become really very dear to me that I wanted to see again. And yeah, I really like living in Japan. I think that I identify myself with both, but having lived the majority of my life in Luxembourg, I do think that European culture has left a stronger impression on me. Yes, definitely. So, especially when I'm in Japan, I do several things differently. I try to adapt to the customs of the country and how to talk and interact with people. So there's definitely changes with me being in Japan or if I'm in Europe. Right now I would call Tokyo, Japan my home, but I definitely have a strong connection to Luxembourg, especially to the small village where I was born and where I still have my family. So I think, again, for me, both places I would call home. What I like most about Tokyo is that it just has the best food, or the largest quantity of types of food that I've ever seen. Yeah, definitely, especially considering the differences between Japan and Europe. I've experienced it in both countries. In Japan, one example would be communicating with people, having to use keigo, which was really difficult for me at the beginning, and still is right at this point. But also in Europe, you see a lot of people who don't understand Japanese customs, especially when it comes to eating. So yeah, but I think having seen both sides, for me it's easier to understand why people do what they do. So. I think one of the things that surprised me was that how safe Japan is, especially Tokyo. So I'm not saying Luxembourg is a bad country, but you definitely won't see anyone in the train having his wallet out in the open and sleeping, and no one's gonna steal it. Or even at university, you see so many. It just feels very safe, it was really surprising at the beginning. So at home I spoke Luxembourgish with my dad and Japanese with my mum, and then in school, so primary school, we learn Luxembourgish and German, but classes are all in German, and then we also learn French. And in junior high school, so it's in 8th grade, we start learning English. So basically everyone who goes through the Luxembourgish system gets to learn 4 languages usually. I'm actually not sure myself, but I think it's usually depends on the environment. So if I'm in Japan, I think it's more Japanese. If I'm in Luxembourg, it's more Luxembourgish. But it's not really clear in my mind. Not really uncomfortable, but sometimes People think they can, like, you're an easy target because they think you don't understand Japanese, and so they can like talk about you like you're invisible. But yeah, I usually try to show them that I do understand Japanese though. Not really. So I think what's really peculiar about Japan is how you get into university from high school, and later on how you move on from university into like work life. So all these rules and like procedures that you have to follow. I haven't seen it anywhere else actually. Yeah, I think so, and other people have told me that my personality changes too, so I definitely think that's true. I think the biggest cultural difference is more of like how you're exposed to different cultures. So for me, Japan, it's mainly has like this strong Japanese culture, but and like very few foreigners, I guess. So, but in Luxembourg, we have like just over half of like the population is like foreign. So we actually have a lot of different. So it's like multicultural. So for me, I think that's like the biggest difference between the two countries.